What's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to make chords like this. So the key to making emotional chords is to set yourself up so that you can use your ears as easily as possible to build a chord. Now I don't know music theory, but I do know what sounds good. So all I have to do is put myself in a position to be able to throw notes at Logic and decide if it sounds good or if it doesn't. So the easiest way to do that is to give yourself something to build the chords around. If you're building the chords blankly, they're really not going to sound good until the entire chord is constructed. But this method that I'm going to teach you, the chords will come together and they'll sound good every step of the way, so you'll know if you're on the right path. So I'm going to give myself a guide note. Guide notes are the easiest thing to build chords around. They're just a single note on the piano, and then you just start building around that note. So go ahead and give ourselves our first guide note. I'm actually going to do two guide notes, a guide note and an ARP, because ARPs are really easy to build around too. So that's our first guide note. So now I'm going to give us another guide note, but this one's going to be an ARP, so it's going to actually have two notes instead of just one. So now that we have our guide notes, next is the fun part. We gotta start building the chords, but this is so easy. We're gonna start with the bass notes. Emotion in chords is driven by the bass notes. So it only makes sense to me to do the bass notes first, then building the chords after that is just a simple math game. And I'll show you how to do that. Let's jump into a low octave because these are bass notes. And this might be a little bit intimidating because there's a lot of keys that you could use on the keyboard, but there's only a select number of keys that would sound good. So you do one note at a time, and then you jump to the next note, and you jump to the next note as long as each note sounds good. So now our bass notes are going to sound like this. However, what if I did this? That sounds cool too. This is just a harmonization game. That sounds really uplifting and emotional because I have that guide note. Whatever I do here will either sound good or bad. So that first note's out of key, so it doesn't sound good. So when something doesn't sound good, you change it to something that does. So now that we have our bass line, or our bass notes, the next part of this is super easy. It's just a simple math game. We copy our notes, and we're going to put them up an octave. Simple as that. Like that. We're going to copy our notes again, and this time we got to do some math. But it's okay guys, because it's really simple math. Take your bass notes and just count up 7 semitones from this layer of notes. So we're going to start at this first one, and we're going to count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. And we put these on that 7th note. So now we actually almost have a chord. So we got to do one more math. We have to take the notes, copy and paste them again, and we got to put them in the middle of this layer of notes here. But where in the middle? Because there's quite a few spaces we can use. We can only use the ones that sound good. That's key. So we could try this one, and we're going to have to go chord by chord with these middle notes because they can change up on us. Some of them will sound good, some of them won't. So that one sounds good. So now the second one, let's see if that one sounds good. Yes. Oop, our first note that's out of key. So all we have to do when your note is out of key, you're either going to put it down one or up one. The note that's in the middle of this, which is called a fifth, can either be closer to the bottom note or closer to the top note. And in this case, it can't be the top note because it didn't sound good. So we're going to go down that note, and then that note will work. So now they're really cheesy and boring chords. So what I like to do is I like to mess with the voicing. So the notes are there, but now what you could do is mess around with the octaves. So I'm going to take the middle notes here and do what's called spread voicing and just go up an octave. And then you get some beautiful emotional chords just from using your ears. And over here, these are the same exact notes. So right here, these are the same chords that we just made, and then we just had a guide note. So there you go, guys. If you learned something from this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel. It'll really help me out. And I'll see you in the next video.